What is up, everybody? I'm so excited to welcome you to this episode of the Changing the Culture podcast with your host, me, Autumn Clifford. As always, I'm very excited. Today, I am highlighting a company, the founder of this company, Thin Blue Line USA. And I am just so excited to introduce you to him, to introduce you to this company. I'm sure a lot of you are actually very familiar with this company, or you are familiar with its founding product, which is the Thin Blue Line flag. This is the first company to actually put out and create the flag, which you will hear all about that, which I have one from their company. So very exciting. And I just want to shout out Thin Blue Line USA, the owner, Andrew. And after having, this interview with him, this discussion with him, I just feel so grateful and thankful for, people like him. He's not a first responder, but you're going to learn how, he started this company, and there was an event. It was an event that I feel deeply connected to Andrew, the owner, and, you're going to feel the same exact connection. And what this company does and how it is just all for first responders. It is all for first responders. Everything this company does, it completely backs the blue, it backs the red, it backs the gold, it backs the green, it backs all military and first responders in any capacity. And honestly, this company is just such a breath of fresh air. I love what they're doing. I've talked to a few members of the company, and honestly, they are just so kind. They are so selfless in how they back us and what they do for first responders, what they do for law enforcement, and that I just feel that the least that I could do was let all of you know the truth behind the company Thin Blue Line USA. So that's what this episode is all about. At the end of this episode, please continue to listen, and you are going to hear a song from a brother in blue, One Time Music. You will hear his song that I have fell in love with the moment I heard it. It's called Baptized in Blue. And if you are a first responder, specifically a police officer, I guarantee you are going to love it as much as I do. So please make sure you listen to that at the end. If you enjoy this episode and you're not already following me, come and hang out with me at Autumn. It's Officer Autumn on Instagram, autumnclifford.com. and Autumn Clifford on social, all the socials, all Facebook, and for more of this. Okay, without further ado, I'm so excited to bring you this podcast episode. Andrew, he is the owner and the founder, I believe, of Thin Blue Line USA, and I'm so excited to bring him on and introduce you to him. Andrew, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Sure. Autumn, it's great to be here. Great to be on the show. My name is Andrew Jacob. I'm the founder of Thin Blue Line USA. Back in 2014, we brought the Thin Blue Line flag to market to show support for our law enforcement. When I started the company, we started 2014. Inspiration that led behind it was back in 2012, a local officer, Officer Patrick O'Rourke, West Bloomfield, that's where I'm from. He was killed in the line of duty. And my family, we came to the department and asked, how could we help? And we ended up sponsoring the Honor Guard to go out to Washington, D.C. for Police Week to inscribe Officer O'Rourke's name on the memorial. From there, that's when it really hit me that when a local officer was killed, it really touched me. And my neighbor's a police officer, and we grew up together, best friends. And I came to him with this idea to bring the Thin Blue Line flag to market, and he said, let's go for it. And we launched the company and launched many products since.
It's amazing. And so I just want to say, and I just want to highlight this, and I know the listeners, they're going to feel this way too, but it's so amazing because there's a lot of companies out there that say, they back the blue, right? But what I love about your company is that you really do. When I know I said this to you, but I want my listeners to hear this. When I first started online, and you or somebody from your company, they found me and they were like, hey, listen, like, thank you. I just really appreciate you. And I got, I actually have a flag. I'll show, Andrew, just so you can see, that's the flag you guys sent me. And my husband's a state trooper. We met in the police academy. And so for our engagement photos, it was only right that we went to the academy and we brought your Thin Blue Line flag. And we had pictures on that. Anybody listening to this podcast can go on to my Instagram and you'll see those pictures everywhere. And so it was just, it meant so much to me that, this is a company who actually really cares, because nobody said go pose. Like your company didn't send me any shit and was like, hey, go pose and tag us. It was like, thank you. Like, we just really appreciate you. And it was so moving for me. And so that was like 2 years ago. And so I keep an eye on you guys. Linda from your company, her and I worked on a police wife project together, and you guys are just doing big things. And so I just want to highlight that and highlight the fact that you started this because you were impacted by a fallen officer and how much that moved you. Like that's like beautiful and so selfless.
Mm-hmm. When we first, when the officer was killed, and I was young at the time. I was only, let's say, 16 or 17. And me and my sister were actually on our way to dinner. And instead of going to dinner, we at this local restaurant, we saw cars, police cars from all over the state of Michigan coming to the memorial. So we said, let's postpone dinner. Let's park our car. Yeah. Let's attend the memorial and pay our respects. And that's the moment when it really hit me inside. And since then we've been supporting our local police department, and we brought that to the national scale, supporting departments across the country.
Yeah, tell us a little bit more. Like, what do you guys? So, what do you do? What are the things that Thin Blue Line USA, like your company, like what do you guys do?
Sure. So first, we have a whole variety of products on our website: flags, hats, pins, dog collars. This is so officers and family can show their support for law enforcement. And by selling these items, we're able to donate profits to different law enforcement organizations. National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, we're a corporate partner of theirs. COPS. In addition, with our local police department, West Bloomfield, which I talked about, after that event, we also came to them and said, how can we help further? So we started a local scholarship fund for officers' kids.
Amazing.
And since then, Thin Blue Line USA and also my father's company, we've donated over $80,000 to the department for just the scholarship program. Wow. And in addition, we've done, I believe, over 100 fundraisers in the past. Amazing. Where we donate 100% of the profits of the Thin Blue Line bracelets to the fallen officers, the fund that the department sets up, or the foundation. And it's seeing people across the country come together, purchasing the bracelets and showing their support.
You guys also have a very big, I would say a very large social media presence. Mm-hmm. You seem to. What do you do there?
Right. One thing we do like to highlight different officer stories, different pictures, different content that they share, mm-hmm. and then we can share that to a larger audience. That's important. Someone from a small community might have a very interesting story, and that's a nice. It's nice to get them to the whole United States.
Yeah, and your company has gone to many different events, right? Like you've gone to I don't even know what they're called really. I just know you guys set up booths different places to support. Yeah, tell me about that.
Sure. So one of our biggest events it's happening right now, Police Week. Unfortunately, this year is canceled due to COVID. However, we're still officers, community. We're all united from afar. Yeah. And last night, the National Law Enforcement Officers Memorial Fund, we had a virtual candlelight. And then tomorrow, Friday, it's official. It's the 15th, where we all go to Capitol Hill. And the previous years, we saw Donald Trump speak. This year, we obviously won't be together, but we're still united again from afar.
Yeah.
So Police Week's a great opportunity to connect with supporters, our customers, officers across the country. They come to our booth, and it's a great time to connect.
Your motivation, what have you always, do you come from a family of first responders, or do you work with them? How did you become so, passionate about and supporting first responders?
So I don't come from a family of first responders. But growing up, I guess I learned from my father. He was always he always investing back into the community, investing who's protecting us and showing that we support you. So that's why with our law enforcement, our community, we want to build that scholarship. They're protecting us. Officers are keeping us safe. We want to help their help their kids go to school so they can get an education, and not just that they're our law enforcement. It's across the country. It's part of our constitution to have law enforcement to keep us safe and protect us. So we want to support them.
Yeah, we really appreciate that. There's not, like I said, and part of my podcast and being here, as really is about changing the culture. And, we first responders across the board are, in my opinion, some of the most, and this goes for military as well. I categorize them in, but like some of the most selfless people on the planet. I mean, every day you're getting up and you're dealing with somebody's worst day ever. Like that's what we go deal with. We're not like event planners, party planners, or somebody even working at a restaurant where people are enjoying themselves, enjoying food, getting their hair done or whatever. Like everybody's, they're in good moods for that shit. Not when they deal with us, right? It's their worst times. And so I think as a first responder, it can become, it just gets so hard. It's so hard because you just feel like so many people don't understand you, and because you're the one, like for police officers, we're out there enforcing the laws and we become the bad guys. And so it's definitely a breath of fresh air to find a company like yours who's like, everything you do supports law enforcement. It seems so selfless what you guys do as well.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. It's my neighbor, he's we're only a couple years apart, so we've grown up together at our lake house, and he's an officer in Battle Creek, Michigan, and I got to go on some ride-alongs with him, and I really see the crazy stuff that goes on. It's unbelievable. It's he's putting his life at risk every single moment in that city. It's so I thank law enforcement across the country. Really, again, as a citizen, it's you can only think what goes on until you actually see it yourself at a ride along, or it's very it's
hard.
You need bravery.
Yeah. Yes, I totally agree. So did you say that you guys did you create the Thin Blue Line flag, or tell me about that?
Sure. So the Thin Blue Line flag, it existed as a patch and sticker years ago, but it's never actually made into a brand with many more products. It was never actually brought into an actual flag, actually a 3x5 foot flag. So we were the first to create the actual 3x5 foot flag. And,
really?
Yeah.
That is amazing. I think everyone needs to know that. That's amazing. I had no idea.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Yeah. So when I saw this as a patch, that's when I came to my neighbor and said, "Hey, should I make this into a flag?" And he said, "Oh yeah, no, we want that. And that's a great way to show support." So that's when I launched the actual 3x5 foot flag, and it went viral. Really, you see it flying every day now.
Everywhere.
Every community.
Everywhere. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that makes my Thin Blue Line flag it makes me so excited that I was a part of that. That's amazing. That's just huge. Yeah. I can say that, being a police officer, we love to fly our flag.
Yeah, good. Very nice.
Now, do you guys have other products for other first responders, like firefighters and stuff?
We do. Thin Red Line represents firefighters. Thin Green Line represents military. And recently, Thin White Line, EMS system. Mm-hmm. So we support all of our first responders. But again, when I first started the company, it started with, the law enforcement. And we've been getting, when we launched Thin Blue Line USA, a lot of people were messaging us saying, "Hey, where's for firefighters? Where's for even military?" So that's when we said, okay, we support all of our first responders. Yeah. And we launched more products.
So tell me, what do you guys have cooking? Does Thin Blue Line USA have anything cooking? I know you guys, Linda's working on a Police Wife podcast.
Mm-hmm.
interviews, which is amazing.
Definitely. We're hiring police wives across the country, doing a podcast like this and highlighting them on the interviews on social media, showing what it's like to be a wife of a police officer. We just this is Police Week now. We just launched a new our Police Week apparel line for 2020. The shirt says "United from afar" because this year we can't be together. And then, in addition to a challenge coin, in addition, we just partnered with another organization the other day, First Responders Bridge. They bring awareness to mental health for first responders. We're selling a bracelet and donating 100% of the profits from that bracelet to the organization. We're always looking for new organizations to partner up with. To create a custom bracelet, custom products, and then we donate 100% of the profits to the organization.
Wow. Now, is your company a nonprofit as well?
We're not a nonprofit, so we're a for-profit company.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
But our mission is to give back.
Yeah. And so you work with a lot of different nonprofits.
Exactly. So our biggest partner is National Law Enforcement Officer Memorial Fund and COPS. We were close to them. I just saw COPS is putting on an event in November. I just saw an email yesterday. They asked we're donating bracelets and flags for their giveaways. So any organization, if you guys need bracelets, giveaways, stickers, just send us an email. We'll be happy to donate.
Amazing.
It's our pleasure.
See, this is amazing. And this is exactly why I wanted to highlight your company and highlight you and really give back to you because this is, it just means so much. So let me ask you this, as we wind down this conversation, this is all about what you're doing is changing the culture, which is why I wanted to highlight it. And what do you think from being out there, from talking to us? Like you said, you just partnered with a company is about bringing mental health awareness and stuff. Like, have you seen personally, like, what have you seen out there that like could help first responders? Like if someone's going through a hard time or anything like that, like, have you seen anything that you can talk about, recommend?
Definitely. So I think, again, with COPS, one of the concerns of police survivors, they're there for families of survivors. They're there for officers. And we have people asking us, for resources, and we send them to COPS. Our partners there, Lauren and Chris, the amount of resources across the board. They put on events for survivors across the country. So working with them hand in hand, we launched a promotion for them due to Corona to help survivors of officers who got Corona for their families.
Yeah.
So if you contact us, we have we work with a lot of different nonprofits. I can direct you to the correct nonprofit for the officers' need, the survivors' need. So our connections is important for us to.
Yeah, it sounds like you have a really great like social network and that's another thing that's beautiful about like your social media is like you guys are so out there, so you're very reachable for us. You know what I mean? You're reachable for any first responder who's kind of going through anything, which is beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for spending some time with us and just talking about the company, because I know I've said it 1,000 times, but I don't stand behind. There's very few companies that are as selfless as you are. There's a lot of companies out there that aren't. They say they back the blue, but they don't. I know firsthand because anytime I see like my two loves are law enforcement and business. Those are my two loves, and so anytime I see a really good, it appears to be a good, company backing the blue, I want to get to know them. I want to see what they're doing. And so it's really refreshing, to see what you guys are doing. I love the story of you and your sister. And I found out that your sister's first name is my first name. Totally cool. Shout out to her. Again, I just want to thank you, Sheepdog Nation. Go check them out. Andrew, what is the website name?
thinbluelineusa.com.
Cool. And we can find you on Thin Blue Line USA on Instagram?
Correct.
And Facebook?
Exactly. At Thin Blue Line USA on Facebook, Thin Blue Line USA on Instagram.
Amazing. And Sheepdogs, as Andrew said, they have a ton of connections. They partner with a lot of different nonprofits. So if anything spoke to you in this conversation, just go check them out. Go see what they have going on. Go get a flag. I mean, hell, we need to be a part of this. This is history in the making. This is amazing. The first people to put the Thin Blue Line on a flag, go be a part of it. I love it. Andrew, thank you so much for being here.
Sure. Thanks, Autumn.
Sheepdog Nation, I'll see you next time.
They buried me in the water and I came out new. Now I'm baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. They buried me in the water in the Holy Ghost. I came out with a badge and gun and a heart that said never run. I signed up for a job you wouldn't dare to do. This ain't no green screen movie, don't compare the two. We look at your actions in the elements and everything relevant. If they line up, prepare to pay the consequence. You do dirt, you get cuffed, no bluff. It's ignorant to think we will shoot with your hands up if you the police. You feel the world is against you, like every call you go to, people trying to tempt you. Well, Hail Mary, Hail Mary, Hail Mary. I ride on the devil, I ain't scary, and I ain't worried. You want my life, come take it, it's gonna be a fight. I take it to the light, like Will and Bright. I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I can't explain the pain when I see a name on the wall. All I feel is rage, put me in a cage, let me brawl. Sometimes I can't help but cry, like why did he die? I know it was him, but it could have been I. What about the kids? What about the spouse? Yeah, now who gon' put food inside them babies' mouth? It's a bigger picture when the officer down. Domino effect, Blue Nation, family, country, and town. The media don't cover us. Well, maybe Fox, cause MSNBC and CNN surely don't care about cops. Politicians more concerned about protecting the legal instead of laying the law down and protecting the people. Let me get off my soapbox before I curse. I don't seen way too many cops riding in hearse. Well, I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, never winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. If I'm faced with a mission, I'm gonna complete it. If that means being deleted, I live with the credence. I do this for the combat vets and Leos. When I'm suited, ready to go, it's either friend or foe. Only Lord knows what my future's in store. I only kill with the hope to see more, so God don't close that door. If I take a life, it's him or me, with the hopes to survive, not bigotry. I go in situations that you cannot imagine, deal with things that you cannot fathom. No ifs, buts, or rather, I'd rather fight for a cause than live for nothing. So when you read my headstone, you know I died for something. You hypersensitive, she complain by justified force. You blame the cops first, that don't work, you blame the courts. But I wouldn't expect you to understand what I do, only the thin blue line, cause they baptized in blue. I'm a fighter, I'm a winner, never quit. I refuse to lose. I got heart and I got grit. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue. I'm a warrior that's been baptized in blue.